Ever felt the gut-wrenching shock of thinking you've escaped a nightmare, only to wake up and find the horror is far from over? That's the electrifying twist at the heart of Marvel Zombies' season finale, pulling viewers into a web of uncertainty that echoes the mind-bending puzzles of Inception. But here's where it gets controversial. What if that ambiguity was a mistake, and the show had to sacrifice subtlety for clarity? Stick around as we dive into why the creators tweaked their original vision, turning a whisper of doubt into a louder revelation that left fans buzzing and begging for more. Marvel Zombies doesn't hold back when it comes to the gruesome side of superhero storytelling. This 6-episode animated series spends much of its time gruesomely exposing the inner workings of beloved Marvel heroes in ways that are equal parts horrifying and captivatingly cool. Like watching a beloved character like Hawkeye transformed into something terrifyingly unrecognizable. For newcomers, think of it as a zombie crossover, where the Avengers and other icons face off against undead versions of themselves. With plenty of blood and guts to make horror fans cheer. So when the final episode reeled around, it was a sigh of relief to see Miss Marvel's Kamala Khan, played by Iman Vellani, seemingly make it out alive and return to a world of the living. Until the illusion cracked, revealing that the reality she escaped to was just as deadly as the one she left. Kamala's brief moment of hope shattered when she peered through the facade, grasping that her original world remained a perilous wasteland overrun by zombies. According to the show's creator, this pivotal reveal was originally designed to be far more open-ended, drawing heavy inspiration from Christopher Nolan's masterful film, Inception, one of his standout movies that masterfully layers dreams within dreams, leaving audiences questioning reality long after the credits roll. Inception is so subtle because it leaves you wondering, is the protagonist still trapped in a dream, forever doomed? Explained Marvel Zombies writer, director, and executive producer Bryan Andrews in a chat with Brandon Davis on the Phase Hero podcast. He compared the 2010 film, which thrives on nested illusions rather than undead hordes, to their initial approach. The version I crafted was incredibly subtle. We didn't show anything explicit. It was just a flicker of doubt, a faint sound, or a fleeting thought that made her realize she'd erred, perhaps even vocalizing it to her friends because something just felt off, something delicately out of place. But after some intense team reviews, they struck a balance that introduced a clearer, yet still gentle, hint of the truth. Marvel Zombies ultimately landed on a satisfying compromise in its cliffhanger conclusion, with the original ending offering only a faint scare in those closing moments. Time pressured Andrews and the creative team to amp things up for a more impactful finish. We revisited the footage with our talented editors living with it for weeks, and it became clear, yeah, we need to escalate this, Andrews recalled. The early ideas were just too much. Through thoughtful discussions, they unearthed what Andrews called a kernel of an idea that evolved into the on-screen solution. We hit the sweet spot, and it was incredible. Someone suggested, what if Riri Williams is the voice on the wind, or she emerges from a portal behind Kamala saying, "Hey, nothing's okay here. It's all gone wrong." It wasn't perfect at first, but it pointed us in the right direction. While that concept was polished to perfection, the exact path forward remains shrouded in mystery. And this is the part most people miss. There's no official word yet on a potential second season of Marvel Zombies hitting Disney+, but the series racked with a cliffhanger so deftly crafted that it's practically demanding a sequel. Without it, Kamala could be left in eternal limbo, a fate worse than any zombie bite. For those unfamiliar with Inception, imagine a movie where dreams stack like layers of a cake, and you can't tell the difference between fantasy and reality. The show's shift avoided that confusion by adding just enough clarity, like a safety net for viewers who might otherwise feel lost. But let's stir the pot a bit. Was this change a smart move to keep casual fans engaged, or did it rob the story of its Inception-like depth, potentially alienating purists who crave ambiguous endings? What do you think? Should animated series like this embrace full ambiguity, or is clarity the key to hooking a broader audience? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree that a happy medium was found? Or do you wish they'd stuck with the original subtlety? Let's debate.